and welcome to episode 3 of Talks That Matter, a podcast powered by ToothLens. Let's be real, most of us don't love going to the dentist. It's often about fear, discomfort, and yes, that infamous buzzing sound we all dread. So much so that we end up delaying visits even when something clearly needs attention. But what if technology could change that? Or perhaps it already has. In this episode, we are joined by someone leading that transformation, Dr. Kyle Stanley, a globally recognized dental surgeon, innovator, and co founder of Pearl AI. And if you already follow him, you would also be knowing he's one of the top 10 young educators in dentistry. In this episode, we are exploring how technology, especially AI, is reducing pain, rebuilding trust, and reshaping the relationship between dentist and patient. We'll also address what patients rarely see, which is the physical and emotional toll dentistry usually takes on practitioners. Thank you, Dr. Kyle, for joining us. Let's be honest, I'll start it like this. Sitting in a dentist chair is definitely not on anyone's list of favorite thing. For many, it brings up fear, discomfort, and especially because of the dreaded sound, like the zzz when you're
Yeah.
sitting in a chair. So it's not even about the sound itself, but what it represents, the pain and the drilling and the stress. So I would like to know, do you think now that scans are happening through tech or maybe AI backed up tools, uh, has it reduced some of the anxiety before patients visit to the clinic now?
Yeah, there's a lot of challenges for patients. I think one of the big things is that they don't think about dentistry every day like, we dentists do. So everything is very foreign to them. Sitting in that chair is kind of foreign. They look at the x-rays, they don't know what the heck's going on. We're saying a bunch of numbers, we're talking a bunch of jargon. And I think technology is really coming to change a lot of that. Really, every aspect of the patient experience is being changed currently, I mean, as we speak, to make this better for patients. And what that does is that it makes it better for patients. That ultimately means there's less stress for patients, means there's less stress for dentists, which is something that I'm very passionate about.
So when you say you're seeing the change, I mean, do you see any shift in how patients, I mean, how they're responding to tech-led treatments like AI-driven diagnostic or even smart scanning tools compared to traditional methods? Or do you think that they are less anxious before visiting the clinic? Or because even in a country like India, some people would still hesitate in trusting tech and they would still trust the traditional approaches for the dentistry. So what kind of changes you're
Yeah, I think what we're seeing actually, and maybe it's different in the US, is we're seeing that patients actually trust the tech more sometimes than even the human. And so it's very interesting. And I think it's because our incentives are not really aligned. So one of the bad things about dentistry is that the more stuff we find, the more money we make. Now, one of the good parts about dentistry is the more stuff we find, the more money we make. So
correct?
it's good for our pocketbooks for the dentists, but it's not good for patient trust. And that's one of the things that AI is doing so well is it's bringing a non-biased third-party opinion to the conversation so that the patient knows this isn't just what the dentist thinks. There's this third-party AI system that's trained by, thousands of dentists that agrees with what the dentist is saying. So
Got it.
it's immediate trust because the tech has no reason to find more. It doesn't get more pleasure, it
Exactly.
doesn't get
Gives
more
you like more
money.
accurate reports. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right. So
Okay.
it's really giving a non-biased opinion.
So from the accuracy point of view, you're 100% sure that it is actually not making dentists earn more how they used to earn before.
The only way that it's making dentists earn more is that it's assisting in finding things before the human could see it. But I think one
Mm-hmm.
of the biggest ways that dentists are earning more from any type of AI tech is
Mm-hmm.
that treatment acceptance goes up so much higher. Because
Got
you
it.
can find all the dentistry you want in a patient's mouth, but if they don't accept treatment, then it doesn't matter. And so that's been one of the big learnings when we created Pearl was how much it's helping with treatment acceptance.
Got it. But from the outside, somebody who's not a dentist, let's say from the patient perspective, people often think dentists, they have it easy and they make a lot of money with like a basic treatment like RCT. But we rarely talk about the physical and emotional, toll of the profession. I'm sure there are
That's
some
right.
which only dentists know. So what are some occupational things that, dentists face both physically and mentally when which patients are not able to see?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much research on this. Something that just recently came out showed that in the US, 1 in 6 dentists
Mm-hmm.
has had suicidal ideation. 1 in 6
And
has,
what's the reason behind it?
I mean, that is like a 3-day course to explain everything, but there's
Okay.
there's there's things like, physical back pain, wanting to help people, but people thinking you're trying to scam them.
Hmm.
Um, there's just, I mean, most people don't understand it, but people come in and tell you they hate you almost every day. Oh, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, I was doing great until I came here. God, I really just hate coming here. And that weighs on you over time. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
the
think
other
the
challenging thing that I've seen so much with so many dentists is that we're so good at dentistry,
mm-hmm.
but we have no soft skills. We're not good at communication. We're not good at leadership. We're not good at setting boundaries. We're not good at setting expectations. And this is where so many of us suffer. It's not from the clinical part. We're good at that because we went to, 8,
100%.
10 years of school to learn how to do the clinical part.
Yeah,
It's the part of running your own business, dealing with human beings every day.
correct. But one often, one overlooked part of dental fear is sensory overload because those
Yes.
gill sounds. I mean, I'm thinking that we have reached so far, technology has evolved like how now everything is backed up by AI. How come uh, the technologists or the innovators have not found a solution to these, silent machines and, they could innovate which could reduce the discomfort? I think it's more of a mental blockage that especially I'll emphasize on the point that this is the sound that comes in. So,
Yeah, well, it's funny that you say that. I'm an advisor to a company called Finally Quiet, which is
oh, wow.
a AI assisted uh, technology that's helping with both the sound for the patient and the sound
Okay.
for the doctor and increasing communication throughout the practice. So they're using vibration resonance in the skull actually and
All right.
reducing that. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a big game changer because, like you said, the sound is such a big negative aspect for our patients. And so if we can reduce that, we can
Yeah.
really make a big difference in anxiety. So I'm really happy to be part of that team and bringing that to market.
So, what's the progress on that? How far are we, and how soon countries like US,
Yeah,
and
very
all other
very
countries can try
close.
that?
Probably Q2 of next year.
Oh, nice.
So, about maybe 9 months away from that. Yeah. Been
Yeah, I
working
think
on it for
that's going to
multiple years
reduce.
already.
That's going to reduce a lot of anxiety within patients for sure. Because
Oh
the
yeah.
quick solution is we telling requesting dentist, could you just give us like a local anesthesia? Uh, and some dentists are very particular. They're like, no, you don't need a local anesthesia for this, but because it just numbs you and then you can get your treatment easily. Uh, so I'm happy to know, glad to know that such technology is coming.
Yes.
There's often this fear that AI will replace doctors, but in dentistry, is it more of a co-pilot? Can you walk us through that, how that human plus AI collaboration actually plays out in clinic practice?
Yeah, for sure. There's actually been some research on this to show which professions are most likely and least likely to be replaced by AI. And
Mm-hmm.
dentistry was actually one of the top ones to not be replaced by AI. So
Nice.
definitely more of a co-pilot. Because
Mm-hmm.
even when you think of right now, we have quote unquote robots that
Mm-hmm.
can place implants. We have robots that are actually being trained in India right now, one of the companies that I advise, that is doing veneers. But they're doing one part of the process. It's like even if implants place implants, they don't actually, or even if robots place implants, they don't actually place implants. All they're doing is drilling a hole. So the dentist has to find the problem, diagnose it, talk to the patient about it, get the patient numb, open the gingiva a little bit, Then the robot comes in, does the hole. Now someone actually has to place the implant. So they place the implant, they put the healing abutment on top, they're suturing, they're managing the wound over time, they're writing prescriptions for medication, they're writing the notes. I mean, there's so many things that we do that I think it'll be very challenging to replace dentists.
Just out of curiosity, this question is not definitely on my list, but I'm just wondering, do people actually want to become dentists? Like, is there they have a curiosity to? Because all time I'm imagining dentists just seeing mouth of people, and it can get like very boring. And who wants to see the germs and whatever and the cavities in mouth? So is it because they are not able to crack that high medical whatever? Maybe they wanted to be a gynecologist or a cardiologist or something else, and then probably dentistry comes and then they take it, or do they take it because they actually feel they want to be a dentist? In your case, I mean, how did it happen? You knew you wanted to be a into the
Yeah, for
dentist
me, I
industry?
wanted to be a dentist. I shadowed an oral surgeon and just loved everything that was happening. I did think about medicine, but once I observed what was happening in dentistry, I definitely wanted to be a dentist. I think you do have people that want to go into medicine, can't get into medicine, then do go into dentistry. It does happen. It also happens the other way too, people that can't get into dentistry and go into medicine. But
Okay, for
dentistry
sure.
can be an incredible job. I mean, we're one of the only professions that can make people healthier, make them physically more beautiful or more attractive, and make them
Perfect.
function better.
And
You know,
rich.
even when you think of like a plastic surgeon, right? A
Mm-hmm.
plastic surgeon makes people look better.
Mm-hmm.
They usually don't function better,
Mm-hmm.
and they're usually not healthier. And then you
Mm-hmm.
have, let's say, an orthopedic surgeon. They
Mm-hmm.
make you function better. You don't
Mm-hmm.
look better, and you're
Mm-hmm.
not healthier necessarily. And
Mm-hmm.
so, really doing those three things, we can have an incredible profession. We can be paid well. We can run our own businesses. So, I think there's a lot of positives to dentistry, but you really have to understand and have the self awareness to know what skills you're missing, because that's when I see a lot of burnout happening with practitioners.
Got it. Got it. Uh, I was just following you. I was going through your post, and I observed that you often speak about rebuilding trust between dentists and patient. Do you think technology helps or hurts that trust? And how do you personally balance introducing tech without losing the warmth and empathy that patients expect?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps because what a lot of tech does, it frees up our time to actually engage human to human more. I think we have so many tasks that we have to do with writing notes and treatment plans and taking x-rays and probing depths that we don't have as much time to then interact with the human. But
Mm-hmm.
when tech can take some of those things off of our task lists or even assist us, not even fully do them, but let's say assist us, it
Hmm.
allows us to then focus more on the human. So I think as more tech comes in, that human connection will be even more important,
Correct. Yeah, it just can't be like just dependent on tech, of course.
for sure.
Uh, I would just like to ask you one this very important question. Let's say if you had a magic, some magic and some magic wand maybe, and you could change one thing in how dental care is delivered today, what would that be? And what's that one shift you believe would make the biggest impact for patients, dentists, and overall?
I mean, I still think anesthesia is one of the biggest fears with dentistry. So
Okay.
I think if we could change it so that you didn't have to get someone numb to do dentistry, that would be a really big game changer for sure.
So in a layman's term, are you saying that anesthesia should not be there at all when people are getting their dental treatments?
No, I'm saying if there was a tech somehow where you didn't
Okay.
have to give people
Place.
shots.
Yeah, yeah. I think with this technology that you're building, the soundless machine, which you just mentioned, I think that's definitely going to change a lot
Yeah,
of
that's
things.
going to be a huge change.
Correct. Anything from your side which you would just like to share with people, because most of us just pop up some painkillers and we avoid visiting to the dentist. So, just what's just one thing till the time that anesthesia can be replaced by tech, or till the time the soundless machines can come to the picture? What is that one thing that patients can tell themselves and probably dentists can tell themselves which can make the relationship better?
I would love to see patients own their own problems and understand that 90% of dental problems are preventable. So, dentists or patients love to blame dentists for
Mm-hmm.
finding things. But, the two of the biggest diseases in the world are dental decay and periodontal disease, both of
Mm-hmm.
which are fully preventable by patients.
Got
You
it.
don't actually need us. But because people eat terrible food, they don't keep up with their hygiene, then that's when you need us. So I think, patients love to get mad at us because they have decay. And it's like, listen, you could have prevented this. I can't be in your kitchen or in your bathroom at night brushing your own teeth, but you can. So
Of
much of it
course.
is preventable.
So the self-care and keeping hygiene intact and
That's
visiting
right.
maybe consultations and scaling and yeah,
Yeah, habits. I mean, if patients really understood how much they could prevent,
of
I,
course.
I
I mean
think,
that goes for everything. I think. I mean that
yeah,
is.
no, I mean, you're right. It's everything. It's,
Hmm.
people would exercise more, or people should exercise more. They should eat better. They should drink more water. They should focus on their sleep. The amount of money that's spent on healthcare could really be avoided if most people just took care of themselves better.
Yeah, and I think dental care in particular, it just costs, I think, a week's salary. Because in India, the concept of dental insurance has been new. I mean, ToothLens has been a pioneer
Yeah,
behind
big
that. So
pioneer in
until
that
now, we
area.
used to visit the dentist, and especially because now there are also different silver capping, golden capping, metal capping,
Yep.
something like that, and the cost goes up. So I think it's highly preventable and hygiene. Just Kyle, tell me something. Is there like a report or some stats where, from the ascending order point of view, which country has like less dental problems, or people are like taking care of the hygiene, or maybe, I mean, is there like a in ranking ascending order so that, especially when we see the GDP, okay, this is the country followed by this. From the dentistry perspective, is there anything like which you would like to?
Not that I know of. I mean, first world countries tend to have a little bit less problems, but then you have certain countries that don't take dentistry as seriously, and they're first world countries.
Of
So
course.
I think it's hard to say. I'm sure there is that statistic out there, but I'm not familiar with it.
No problem. Thank you so much for joining us and helping us rethink not just how dentistry is done, but how it can feel. And from reducing fear for patients to improving well being for dentists, this isn't just a tech revolution, it's a human one. And to everyone listening to this podcast, if you have ever postponed a dental visit out of fear, and if you are a dentist wondering how to deliver care without burning out, this one is for you. You have been listening to Talks That Matter, powered by ToothLens. We'll be back soon with more conversations on the future of oral health and the people reimagining it. Until next time, stay curious, stay preventive, and take care. Okay, I'm gonna stop.